Life asks us to be brave, to step into the unknown with a heart full of courage. Every day presents moments, big and small, where courage is needed, where we must summon our inner strength. It's in the everyday choices we make, the decisions that shape our lives. Do we speak up when we see something wrong, or do we stay silent? Do we stand up for what is right, even when it's hard, even when it feels like the world is against us? Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's the strength to move forward despite it. It's feeling the fear and doing it anyway, embracing the right against the wrong. It's about being vulnerable, about letting ourselves be seen, even when we're uncertain of the outcome, even when it scares us. This is the story of a young woman named Maya, who found her voice and chose courage in the face of adversity, who decided to rise above her fears. Her journey reminds us that we all have the capacity for bravery within us, that we all can find our strength. We all have a choice to make, a path to choose. Will we shrink back from the challenge, or will we rise to meet it with courage, with unwavering determination? Maya was a bright young artist working at a design firm. She had always dreamed of making a mark in the creative world. She was passionate about her work and eager to learn from her experienced colleagues, always seeking to improve her skills and knowledge. Life was good, or so it seemed. She enjoyed her work and felt she was on the right path, but beneath the surface, as she proceeded, Maya noticed unethical practices within the company. These were not just minor issues, but actions that went against company's core values. At first, they appeared as small discrepancies, easily dismissed as misunderstandings or oversights. But as time went on, the discrepancies grew larger, more blatant, and increasingly difficult to ignore. Maya felt a knot of discomfort in her stomach, a physical manifestation of her growing unease. She knew something wasn't right. The more she observed, the more her discomfort grew. This internal conflict gnawed at her conscience, making her question her relevance in the company. Should she speak up, risking her job and reputation, and potentially facing backlash from her colleagues? Or should she remain silent, preserving her own comfort and security at the expense of her integrity and peace of mind? One day, Maya was sitting at her desk with a thoughtful expression, her mind racing with conflicting thoughts. She's surrounded by design materials, but her brow is furrowed with concern, reflecting the turmoil within her. The weight of silence pressed heavily on Maya. She tried to rationalize the situation, telling herself it wasn't her place to interfere. She reminded herself that speaking up could have serious consequences. She witnessed colleagues, some she admired, turn a blind eye to the unethical behavior. Their silence made her question her own judgment. Was she overreacting? Was this just how things were done in the corporate world? But deep down, Maya knew it was wrong. Company's values, her sense of right and wrong, screamed at her to take action. The decision, however, felt paralyzing. She felt alone, uncertain of where to turn or who to trust. The fear was real, but so was the burning conviction that she had to do something. One evening, Maya confided in a trusted friend outside the company, seeking solace and understanding. She poured out her anxieties, her fears, and her growing sense of responsibility, feeling overwhelmed by the weight of it all. Her friend listened patiently, offering support and encouragement, creating a safe space for Maya to express herself. Her friend's words were a lifeline, a beacon of hope in a sea of uncertainty. She reminded Maya of her strength, her integrity, and the importance of staying true to the right thing, reinforcing her inner resolve. She helped Maya see that her voice mattered, that she had a responsibility to speak up for what was right, no matter the obstacles. With newfound determination, Maya began to carefully document the unethical practices she had witnessed without affecting her job. She gathered evidence meticulously, knowing that speaking up without concrete proof would be futile and potentially dangerous. She knew that the path ahead would be challenging, but she was no longer willing to be complicit in the wrongdoing she had seen. She had found her voice and was ready to use it, determined to make a difference and stand up for what was right. Facing the storm. Maya knew that confronting her superiors would be met with resistance. She prepared herself for the potential backlash, the possible damage to her reputation, and even the risk of losing her job. With her evidence in hand, Maya requested a meeting with the head of the department. Her heart pounded in her chest as she presented her findings, calmly and factually. As expected, her concerns were initially met with denial and anger. Attempts were made to discredit her, to silence her, and to downplay the severity of the situation. But Maya's right mind helped her stood her ground. She had anticipated their reaction and was prepared with irrefutable evidence. She refused to be intimidated or silenced. Positive attitude ripples effect. To Maya's surprise, her courage had an unexpected effect. Her willingness to speak up, to risk her own well-being for the sake of integrity, resonated with some of her colleagues. Quietly, others came forward, sharing their own concerns and offering support. The culture of silence began to crack, replaced by a sense of collective responsibility. The company, faced with undeniable evidence, was able to take action. An investigation was launched, leading to significant changes in management and company policies. Maya's act of courage had created a ripple effect, sparking a movement for ethical conduct within the organization. Her voice, once trembling with fear, had become a catalyst for positive change. The price of integrity. The journey wasn't easy. Maya faced professional and personal challenges in the aftermath of her actions. There were whispers and moments of self-doubt. Some colleagues distanced themselves, uncomfortable with the disruption Maya had caused. Others questioned her motives, wrongly accusing her of seeking attention or advancement, even though they knew it wasn't so. But Maya refused to be defined by their judgments. She knew the price of integrity, the potential for backlash and discomfort. She had weighed the risks and chosen courage over complacency. She found solace in the knowledge that she had done the right thing, regardless of the personal cost. And in the process, she discovered a depth of strength and resilience she never knew she possessed. The strength in vulnerability. Maya's story reminds us that courage isn't reserved for the fearless. It's not about being invulnerable, but rather about embracing our vulnerability as a source of strength. True courage often requires us to step outside our comfort zones, to risk disapproval or rejection. It means speaking our truth, even when our voice trembles. It's in those moments of vulnerability, when we allow ourselves to be seen, imperfections and all, that we truly connect with others. It's in our willingness to be vulnerable that we inspire others to do the right thing. Maya's story teaches us that courage is contagious. One act of bravery can inspire countless others to find their own voices, to stand up for what is right. Defining your own courage. Courage looks different for everyone. It's not always about grand gestures or public displays of defiance. Sometimes the bravest thing we can do is to face our own fears, to challenge our own biases, and to choose kindness in the face of adversity. It's about being true to ourselves, even when it's difficult, even when it feels like we're standing alone. It's about using our voices to speak up for ourselves and for those who cannot speak for themselves. Is there an act of courage that life is asking of you? Is there an uncomfortable truth you are avoiding? Is there a change you are longing to make in the world, but too afraid to pursue? Embrace the journey. The path of courage is not always easy, but it is always worthwhile. It is a journey of self-discovery, of pushing past our perceived limitations and embracing the fullness of who we are meant to be. Embrace the fear, the uncertainty, and the discomfort that often accompany acts of bravery. These are not signs of weakness, but rather indicators that you are on the right track, that you are living a life true to your values. Remember Maya's story. Remember that one voice, one act of courage, can spike a positive change. Never underestimate the power of your own voice, of your own willingness to stand up and be a positive catalyst. The world needs your courage, now more than ever. Do you have a story like Maya's that can inspire others? Please let me know in the comments below.